such convenient way to create a new world, Cadet. Every single dead end is a victory for this company because it eliminates a false road towards our dream. There is no time to lose with self-pity. We have a most sacred mission on our hands, and we honor it by doing our very best every single day.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome back. This is me, the MetaVerse Explorer. That was my girlfriend reading out the roadmap reports. That's a small snippet. I have the full YouTube video coming soon. We're going to be reading out all the roadmap reports. We're up to number 7 so far or something like that. She's very excited. We did the whole vote thing that you guys wanted, and we both read out who should be the narrator, and you guys voted for her. So she is excited to help you guys go through the roadmap report, and yeah, she's just really excited. So that's not what this episode is actually about. We are going to be talking about Star Atlas issue number 7. We have a whole bunch of information to go through here. So as always, I'm the MetaVerse Explorer. I keep you up to date on what's happening in Star Atlas. So without further ado, let's do it. All right, and welcome back. Thank you very much. Let's look at Star Atlas issue number 7. This was just released about a day ago or so. First off, we got this image, right? I covered this before. This is a very good image of what we should expect, what it currently looks like, right? I'm hoping this is still a few weeks in the past, and they're happy to release this because they've got something new, or hopefully a dark mode, right? Hopefully a dark mode. What I saw in the middle, this is blurred out, right? Why is this blurred out? Everything else is clear. Why is that small little bit blurred out? And I haven't seen anyone say anything about this either. So I'm very curious as to why that is. But we know on the left-hand side, we can see all the star bases, some of the fleets you have, and the planet structures on the right. This is what this document goes on about, right? Let's go through this entire thing. It might be a bit of a longer video. I'm sorry, it's about 17 minutes, maybe, give or take 15 minutes. Let's read. We don't need any of this. They're going to be talking about Scream, which everyone is waiting for. It's the Star Atlas browser-based playable gameplay module with full economic loop. Let's go ahead and dive in. We've got some new art as well here. Actually, this is old art. We saw this before, but it's still nice to see him again, isn't it? It's really nice. It's really nice to see him again. Some of these art, they get good artists to work on this. I don't know where they find them, but they're always good. On ArtStation, I think it is. So before they started thinking about doing the entire game, the browser game, they asked themselves 4 questions, right? Is this game actually fun? Can players play this game over and over? So that means it needs a recurring loop so you don't get bored very easily and you sell all your assets and then you're done. They don't want that. Are you focused on ship utility? We all know everyone used a whole bunch of their own money, USDC, to buy some ships. And as we can see now, some of those ships are trading at a significant discount. If you want to sell it now, you're selling at a giant loss. So they ask themselves, are you actually giving utility to the ships that I bought? That's what they're asking. And of course, is the game logic and the game state hosted on chain? And so these are the questions they ask themselves. And so they kind of made the game based around these 4 factors. So let's keep reading, shall we? The context of Scream. Let's have a look at this nice picture. I wonder what this picture is. Is it a C11 or a C7? I'm not entirely sure. It is a C. It definitely looks like a C. It's not a Amboy or it's not a it's a mud ship. Okay. So this is just some context, right? They're saying even though there is a treaty of peace within the safe zones, all the factions are playing nice with each other. When you go to the medium zone, they start taking over some of the planets and some of the resources there. But because of this, there is a bit of conflict, and some of the native factions don't like this, like the Ecos and the Jorvik. And so to do this, people have some of the Council of Peace has started establishing star bases. And this is what they highlighted in bold here. Star bases are the primary function of the entire game, right? So you have a star base in different sections of the map, and these star bases are controlled by the different factions. Let's keep going. First, many star bases are pushing to bring progress to the neighboring systems. And once that star base gets leveled up to a higher enough tier, the sphere of influence comes larger, and you're able to mine resources within that sphere of influence. So obviously, if there is a resource over there, you need a star base around that resource, right? around that resource so that you can go and mine it. If it's not there, you'll have to build up the star base to a higher level or a higher tier. Basically, that's what they're saying in this little section here. I'm just going to go a little bit faster so we can get through this. I don't want to waste your time, you know? To summarize, Scream is about dominating different star systems for the benefit of your faction by gaining access to various resources. Now, we know there are 20 resources, right? We don't know what all of them are yet, but there are going to be some rares, some commons, some uncommons, all of this stuff needed to make different things. For example, the R4s, the 4Rs, which is your refuel, repair, all of that. Sorry, I've read this ahead of time and I'm going a bit ahead of it. So let's keep going. So greater consolidated power from higher tier starbases enables members of the dominating faction to harvest the resources of planets further away from the system center. Exactly what I was saying. You know, there's a sphere of influence. The higher the tier, the bigger the sphere of influence, and the further away you can go. Don't go too far because you might get caught out into another starbase's sphere of influence, and people will come for you. On the economic front, star bases will serve as deposits of harvested material. So when you go and get your resources, you come back to your star base. That's like your spawn point, right? You come and deposit your resources into your hangar or that sort of thing. Creation, upgrade, and attack and defense of star bases are of utmost importance to the factions. And I suppose this is what we'll first be voting on, hopefully, right? We'll get to play around with the star bases first, but then on Tribeca, we should be able to vote and say, yes, let's upgrade this star base or this star base. Now, let's look at the aspects of micro-environmental gameplay mechanics on Scream. Players should analyze the planets in each system because the planets will give you different resources. When we first start, as it says here, there will be a logic of rarity and location, meaning that some resources may be common in a part of the universe than others. Some resources that will be rare or ultra rare will have specific places in the universe that they are located. What does this mean? This means that people are going to start flocking or trying to control those rare resources, which means they're going to try and build star bases near those resources, which means those star bases are going to be very valuable. So as soon as this starts getting up, we're going to see people mad rushing to where all the rare items are or where the rare resources are. Because they need them, right? Once they control that, they'll be able to buy a lot of stuff if they can mine that efficiently. All of these resources will have in-game utility for factions and players on their path to conquer the stars. We foresee the mobilization of factions to secure rare resources and materials found in the deeper reaches of space. Exactly what I'm saying, right? And we know what the deepest reaches of space are, which is near the Cataclysm, which is where the Tufa and the Chi are, or the Rainbow Ohm and the Chi. The Rainbow class of ships. That's what I'm trying to say. Exploration logic, right? And they say as well, don't go too far, otherwise you might be out of fuel and out of options. If you're out of fuel and out of options, hopefully someone can come and rescue you with a rescue ship. And I'm going to be running a rescue ship, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to come rescue you, interview you, tell me what happened, how you got in this position, and then you got to pay me because I'm going to charge you, okay? All right, good deal. Now, some of the mechanics of Scream. This is a very large document, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go a little bit faster, as I said. Players will be fighting two silent enemies, the maintenance cost of score and the opportunity cost. So everything you're going to be doing, you'll have to expend resources, right? If you want to go from A to B, go and mine that resources, you're going to be spending fuel, okay? You got to make sure that you're actually profiting from this because the way they're trying to organize the system is that if you're not providing value in the game, you're not doing anything in the game, then you're not going to be rewarded, right? If you don't take risk, you're not going to be rewarded. As we have now in Scream, all you do is you stake your ship. When you stake your ship, everyone gets Atlas. You're not really doing anything, right? All you got to do is come back, refuel, re-click a few buttons, and you're back in again, and you can start earning. But they're saying like this, no. Once you're actually in the game, you got to spend your time, accrue loyalty points, which we're going to get to, upgrade your hangars, and then you'll be able to get more ships into the game as you want. Your overall in-game choices will determine whether you profit or lose in your galaxy adventures. You have no guarantee of success in your Scream expeditions. Can you see that? I'll bring it a bit closer. There's also no reward without labor. You'll face citizens who are sick of you, and they're sick of you attacking galaxies who are not particularly pleased with DACs attacking the territory, and players of other factions will be fighting to achieve the same objectives. There can only be one winner, hence the necessity to make best choices with the available information and coordinate your DACs members to a crucial aspect of Scream. What does that mean? Get organized, get into a DAC, Aephian, best DAC out there. Now, hangers and loyalty. This is where it gets a little bit good in a sense, because we have a whole bunch of Atlas coming onto the market, right? There's no Atlas sync. What are you going to do with it? Buy ships so far. That's it. So now this is what you call in games a sync, where people are able to use their Atlas for other utilities, right? The hangers are critical structures in Scream, as the number of hangers a player has determines the number and class of ships the player can play. So 1, you need hangers to host all your ships, right? There are also structures organized in tiers. So the higher the level of your hangar, the larger the vessel you'll be able to fit in. Now, I'm going to explain it. There are loyalty points, and then there are Atlas points. You need loyalty points to increase how many hangar slots you have. How many hangar slots. And then you need Atlas to increase the size of those slots. So you could have 3 slots. You need Atlas to increase it from extra small to a medium to a large to a capital class ship, you know? Okay, and how do you get loyalty points? The 3 factions are very sensitive to who acquires new hangars, as space is limited. Only those who have proven themselves will be allowed to expand their fleets by acquiring new hangars. And how do you do that? By participating in the game and accruing loyalty points with your faction. That's it. That's all of this simply explained like that. In other words, you'll be given the privilege of acquiring new spaces for your fleets inside Scream through consistent and meaningful play in the interest of your faction. You'll bring recognition for yourself and your faction if you're on the front. Your standing with the factions will be measurable, and aside from helping you expand your fleet, will also serve to calculate your rewards for your services on the faction behalf in Scream, along with other in-game mechanics. Yes. Now, this is something we didn't know. Rewards will be paid to members who serve in the Scream Wars, that's a new term we've seen, by epochs. Now, a Solana epoch is like 3 days or something like that. I'm not sure if this is the same epoch that they're referring to. We might go by weekly epochs in Scream. We don't know. Monthly epochs, that's a bit too much. Maybe daily epochs. Whatever you do in the day, all of that is split apart. As soon as the epoch ends, the faction will divide a share of the earnings of that period among the players who served. Your reward will be proportional to the value you brought to your faction via your actions within the fleet. This is good. They've thought about this a lot. Now, fleets and experience. Your progress in the experience ladder will enable you to control more fleets. We know this already, because once you get more hangars, you'll be able to host more ships, which means you can create more fleets, right? Yes. Wars will be fought on different fronts. People will be having different fleets and different locations. But this is where you'll need some like Discord coordination with your DAC, right? You'll be able to tell Team A, go to that section. Team B, go to that section. Team C, you're backup for both teams. That sort of stuff. The more experienced a pilot you are, the more your feats will impact your faction, which will affect every activity that benefits your standing, such as your gains by epoch and other features mentioned above. So this is a new kind of mechanism or concept they're trying to introduce here. Let's go through it a bit, okay? Let's read it. It's important to consider that Scream is oriented to faction objectives. As a result, war will be fought on many different fronts, acquiring factions and players to spread their armies and fleets throughout multiple systems and make tough choices about where and when to engage with enemy forces. But if it wasn't enough of a perk, experience also has other uses in Scream. So we have loyalty points, Atlas, and then experience. I think experience and loyalty points are account specific. You can't trade them. Another impactful aspect of it is that it increases the rate at which you accrue loyalty with your faction. Okay, so loyalty gets accrued as you do stuff, but if you have more experience points, your loyalty rate is increased. So there's so many different gauges here that they're trying to implement, like so many levers. We've got to fully understand it. We've got to play this to see it. The more experienced of a pilot you are, the more your feats will impact your faction, which will affect every activity that benefits your standing, such as your gains by epoch and other features mentioned above. Now, they go on about the blockchain side of things. And there was one thing in here that was a little bit worrying to me, right? We're proud to say that most of our features will execute and resolve on the blockchain, from attacking star bases to harvesting resources, even the location of your fleets. Every bit of game logic that has an economic impact will be safeguarded on-chain. Now, that is a big problem, isn't it? Big problem. Location of your fleets. So everyone on chain, any smart person can read the blockchain, the metadata, and see where a giant number of fleets are or where there is absolutely no fleets, which means you can go and attack that starbase because no one's there, right? Or there's only like 1 or 2 ships there. That's not good, right? Where's the fog of war? There is no fog of war because this is on the blockchain. You can see everything. It's fully transparent. That's what they say. This takes transparency, one of our core values, to a whole new level. Everything that happens in the game will be available for instant audit to everyone globally. I'm not sure. Is that a good thing? That's not a good thing. If you can see where everyone is all the time, there's no surprising the enemy. It's just going to be everyone go to the front lines. This is where we all are. Come and fight. This is it. That's not fun, is it? You got to get surprised. There's no surprises here on the blockchain. No surprises. You can see everything. So I don't know. I don't know if that's how they're actually planning it. I don't think that's a good idea. Another feature is multiplayer aspect of the game. You may organically cooperate with players from your faction to fulfill in-game objectives. Cool. And then that's it. So they talk about all these next steps. This is the Punab Whisper. I don't give it much credibility because, it's kind of a bit of a hopium. Last time there was a thing about something about like a boss that I thought was a boss, but then, it never came back, didn't hear anything about it. So this Punab Whisper is about a wandering caravan of people, of 33 people that wear 33 masks, and they come out of nowhere on the planet or in the space, and then they come and perform a dance or something. Not interested. Like if they implement that into the Star Atlas map and people can interact with them and you get an NFT of some kind, like you're the spotter or something like that, and that has something cool with it, then sure. But if it's just like writing for sake of writing with no impact on the law, not interested. Zesk, if this is you, Mr. Newt, I'm not a fan. If this is all made up, nah, I don't care. What I care about is all of this stuff. This is the game that I'm going to be playing, okay? I feel like I've talked a lot. It's been 17 minutes, exactly as I said. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end it here. Thank you very much for watching. This is a giant document. Go ahead and read it yourself because I might have missed 1 or 2 things. I got the gist of everything for you. As I said, I try and keep you updated on what's happening in Star Atlas. So that's it. Thank you very much. Ciao for now.